Stop. Don't scroll. Don't move your thumb. If you leave right now, if you skip what I'm about to tell you, you will miss the single most important message heaven has been trying to send you about your daughter. And tomorrow, when the shift happens, you won't recognize it. My beloved child, listen to me. This isn't a coincidence. You didn't stumble here. You were pulled. Right now, this second, there is a veil between you and tomorrow that is about to lift. But only if you stay. God says, tell them, if they scroll away now, they will weep when they realize what they missed. Your daughter is standing at the center of something you can't see yet. A door, a moment, a turning point scheduled by heaven before you even woke up this morning. Don't blink. Don't move. If your chest feels tight right now, if something dropped in your stomach the moment you saw this, that's not fear. That's recognition. Your spirit knows. Jesus is whispering your name. Archangel Michael is standing between you and a tragedy that was supposed to reach your daughter tomorrow. But only if you stay. Heaven has given you 10 seconds to decide. 10 seconds to choose whether you want to know what's coming or whether you want to walk blind into the most critical day of your daughter's life. Don't skip. Stay with me until the end, Dimi, because I'm going to tell you the 3 signs you'll see tomorrow, so you don't miss the miracle when it arrives. This message is about your daughter, but it's also about your assignment as a parent. Heaven is calling you by name right now, and if you leave, if you scroll, the door closes. The angel steps back, and tomorrow comes without the shield I'm about to show you. My child, take a breath. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. Now stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal will change everything. My beloved child, I need you to listen closely now, because I'm about to describe something you thought no one could see. You've been smiling at church, nodding at the grocery store, telling everyone, I'm fine, she's fine, we're fine. But when you close the door at night, you collapse. You replay every conversation with her, every moment you think you failed. Did I say the wrong thing? Did I push too hard? Did I miss the one moment that mattered? You carry guilt like a receipt you never asked for. And my child, it's crushing you. Your daughter has changed. Maybe she's quieter now, distant, guarded. She doesn't tell you things anymore. Or maybe she's loud in a way that scares you. Mood swings that come out of nowhere. Sharp words that cut deeper than she knows. Choices that make your stomach drop. You feel like you're losing access to her heart. And the worst part? You don't know how to get back in. You reach for her and she pulls away. You ask questions and she shuts down. And every time it happens, you feel like you're failing all over again. But listen to me now. There's more weight on you than just this. The bills keep stacking. Medical appointments pile up. You look at your bank account and wonder how you're going to help her when you can barely help yourself. You're tired. Your body aches in ways it didn't used to. Time feels like it's running out. And you think, God, I want to be there for her, but I don't have enough. I'm not enough. And then there's the silence. You've prayed. You've asked God for a sign. You've begged heaven to show you what to do. And you got nothing. Just quiet. Just waiting. Just more days that feel the same. Yet, you keep going. Because love makes you stubborn. Because even when you don't know what to do, you can't stop showing up. My child, what I'm about to tell you will change how you see everything. What you thought was distance, what you thought was her pulling away from you, may actually be God separating her from what has been harming her. What you thought was your failure may actually be heaven repositioning you both for what's coming tomorrow. You weren't abandoned. You were stationed. God placed you exactly where you are because He knew you'd be strong enough to hold the line when no one else could. Every tear you cried in secret was collected. Every prayer you whispered in the dark was recorded. Every moment you felt unseen. Heaven saw. And tomorrow, my beloved, the veil lifts. Tomorrow, the door opens. Tomorrow, everything you've been carrying starts to make sense. But only if you stay with me now. Because what I'm about to show you next will prove that none of this was random. My beloved child, I need you to hear this with your whole heart. What you've been watching, what's been tearing you apart inside, is not your daughter falling apart. It's an old identity dying. And I know that sounds impossible right now. I know you've been lying awake at 3 a.m, staring at the ceiling, whispering prayers that feel like they bounce off the walls. I know you've asked to God 1,000 times, why her, why ye now, what did I do wrong? But listen to me. You didn't do anything wrong. Your daughter isn't being punished. She's being prepared. Heaven sees what you can't see yet. God is not tearing her down. God is rebuilding her from truth, not trauma. Because your daughter isn't just your child. She's a carrier of covenant. She's a future voice, a future light, a breaker of cycles that have run through your family for generations. And the enemy knows it. That's why the fight has been so fierce. That's why it's felt so personal, so relentless, so cruel. Because when the enemy targets a daughter, he's not just attacking one person. He's trying to cripple a legacy. He's trying to silence a generation before it even speaks. But here's what he didn't count on. Heaven targets daughters to heal legacies, the same wounds the enemy meant to destroy her with. God is converting into medicine. Isaiah 53 tells us that by his wounds we are healed. Your daughter's pain is not the end of her story. It's the beginning of her power. Every tear she's cried, every night she's struggled, every moment you thought she was too far gone. Heaven was writing it down, recording it, preparing to turn it into testimony. Now listen closely, because this is the hard truth. Some of what you've been calling her personality, the anger, the distance, the rebellion, the silence, that wasn't her. That was survival behavior. She built walls because she didn't know how else to stay standing. But survival is not her destiny. Thriving is. Freedom is. Wholeness is. And tomorrow, the veil starts to lift. You're going to see something shift. It might be small. It might be a softness in her voice you haven't heard in years. It might be a conversation she initiates that surprises you. It might be a sudden clarity in her eyes, like she's waking up from a long, heavy sleep. Don't dismiss it. Don't second guess it. That's the first sign, because God promised in Acts 2:39 that his promise is for you and for your children. Not someday. Not eventually. Now. And Proverbs 4:18 says, the path of the righteous gets brighter and brighter. Not all at once, but surely, steadily. Like dawn breaking after the longest night. My child, this season you've been in, this brutal, suffocating, heartbreaking season, it wasn't designed to break you. It was designed to train you, to prepare you to hold what's coming. Because when your daughter steps into her destiny, she's going to need a parent who understands the weight of transformation, who knows what it costs, who can stand steady when everyone else is confused by her rise. Heaven gave you this assignment because you can handle it. Now I'm going to tell you exactly what to do in the next 24 hours because heaven is giving you a window. And you can't afford to miss it. My beloved child, I need you to hear this clearly. Heaven saw everything, every single tear you cried in secret when you didn't know how to help her. Every night you begged God, begged him to protect your daughter from what you couldn't name but could feel. Every prayer you whispered in the dark when fear wrapped around your throat and you thought maybe God wasn't listening. He heard it all. And today, in the courtroom of heaven, the verdict came down. Listen to me, There has been an influence around your daughter. Not a demon, not a monster. An energy, a voice, a system. Something that tried to brand her with a label that was never hers. Something that whispered lies until she started to believe them. And my child, somebody benefited from her confusion. Somebody gained power when she felt powerless. Somebody got comfortable watching her struggle. But heaven kept a record. I saw the scroll. I saw your name written next to hers. I saw the nights you stayed awake, the meals you couldn't eat, the hope you forced yourself to carry when everything inside you wanted to collapse. And God said, enough. The verdict is final. What touched her illegally must release her immediately. Do you hear me? Immediately. Not next month. Not when she's ready. Tomorrow. The chain that wrapped around her mind, the one you couldn't see but felt every time you looked in her eyes, it's already loosening. Right now. As you listen, the influence that fed on her doubt is losing access. The voice that made her question her worth is being silenced. The door that looked like opportunity but carried bondage, it's closing. And my child, here's what justice looks like in heaven. The people who used manipulation will be exposed by their own words. The hidden motives will surface without you lifting a finger. The systems that trapped her will collapse under their own weight. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to argue. You don't have to prove anything. God fights for your daughter. And when God fights, the battle is already won. Listen carefully. The pressure you've been feeling, that crushing weight on your chest every time you think about her, that wasn't defeat. That was proof. Proof that the chain was already breaking. Proof that heaven was already moving. Proof that the veil was about to lift. You felt it because you're connected to her, because you're her covering, because heaven chose you to stand in the gap while the rescue was being prepared. And tomorrow, when the shift happens, you'll see it. The confusion will start to clear. The fog will lift. The light will break through in a way that shocks you both. But you have to understand something. This justice isn't about revenge. It's about restoration. It's not about punishing people. It's about protecting your daughter. Heaven doesn't need you to be angry. Heaven needs you to be ready. Ready to receive her when she comes back to herself. Ready to hold space when the truth hits her and she realizes how far she wandered. Ready to love her without saying, I told you so. Because my child, tomorrow isn't just about her freedom. It's about your assignment. The verdict has been read. The sentence has been declared. And what heaven has ruled, no man can overturn. Stay with me, because I'm about to show you the 3 signs you'll see when the breakthrough arrives. My beloved child, let me tell you what tomorrow really is. Tomorrow isn't magic. Tomorrow is alignment. Heaven has been moving pieces on a board you couldn't see, and tomorrow, the veil lifts. Listen to me carefully. What's coming isn't just another day. It's a shift, a turning point that's been scheduled in the courts of heaven since before you woke up this morning feeling that weight on your chest. You've been praying for breakthrough. You've been praying for clarity. You've been praying for your daughter to come back to herself. And heaven heard every word. Tomorrow, my child, something breaks open. A conversation that's been locked for months suddenly becomes possible. A truth surfaces that explains everything you couldn't understand. A source of help appears out of nowhere. A person, a resource, an opportunity you weren't expecting. And here's what will shock you. A burden lifts in your own body. Sleep returns. Appetite returns. The knot in your stomach loosens. Because when heaven moves on behalf of your daughter, it moves on behalf of you too. Now listen, I promised you 3 signs. 3 ways you'll know this shift is real. First sign, confirmation. A text, a call, A coincidence that repeats itself so clearly, you can't brush it off. You'll see a number, a name, a phrase that shows up twice in one day, and your spirit will know. That's heaven saying, I'm here. I'm working. Don't doubt what you're seeing. Second sign, protection through redirection. A plan gets canceled. An event falls through. Something you thought was important doesn't happen. And later, maybe hours, maybe days, you realize that cancellation saved you. It saved her. It kept you both out of the path of something you never even saw coming. Third sign, softness. Your daughter shows you one small moment of openness. It might be brief. It might be so subtle you almost miss it. A glance, a question, a word she hasn't said in months. Don't dismiss it. That's the crack in the wall. That's the door beginning to move. Now, my child, hear the word of the Lord. Psalm 35 says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." Night doesn't get the final word. Galatians 6:9 says, "Let us not grow weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." You are close, closer than you think. Don't quit at the edge of harvest, but listen to me, and this is critical. If you mishandle the moment, you can stretch the process. If you react in fear instead of faith, you delay what heaven already scheduled. If you grab too hard, you push her away. If you freeze and say nothing, you miss the window. So now I'm going to give you heaven's instruction. I'm going to tell you exactly how to move tomorrow when the signs appear. Because turbulence, my beloved, confirms takeoff. What you've been feeling isn't the crash. It's the ascent. Stay with me. Don't scroll. Because what I'm about to show you next will determine whether you step into this moment with confidence or confusion. My beloved child, listen carefully. Tonight is not the night to interrogate. Tonight is not the night to ask where she's been, why she's been distant, or what went wrong. Tonight, you cover. You don't cross-examine. You don't corner her with questions she can't answer yet. You speak one sentence and you mean it. I'm here, I love you. You're safe with me. That's it. No performance, no fixing, just presence. Because tomorrow, when the shift comes, she needs to remember that you were steady. Heaven is asking you to be the thermostat, not the thermometer. She's emotional, you stay calm. She's distant, you don't chase. She's breaking, you don't escalate. Your calm becomes her shelter. Your faith becomes her bridge. Now listen to this. Before you go to bed tonight, speak life over her. Not loud, not forced, just quiet declarations in your room. Say this, my daughter is protected. Say this, her mind is clear. Say this, her future is bright. Proverbs 18:21 says, the tongue has the power of life and death. You choose life tonight. You speak it. You anchor it. And you release her into God's hands. Here's what you don't do. Don't label her. Don't call her lazy, lost, or crazy, even in your mind. Don't recruit family members to pressure her. Don't make tomorrow about your fear. And don't threaten abandonment, because that's the lie she's already battling. Heaven says, if you can't bless her tonight, stay silent. Silence is better than words that wound. Now, my child, I want you to do something simple but powerful. Clean the environment, not the whole house, just her space. Turn off the noise, reduce the chaos. Create a peace corner, a chair, a verse card, a lamp, a glass of water. Peace is a spiritual technology. It shifts atmospheres. It breaks cycles. It invites heaven in. And tomorrow, when she walks into that space, something in her spirit will recognize it. One more thing. Check the basics without control. Medication, sleep, food, appointments, help that preserves dignity, cover that doesn't smother. Because sometimes the miracle isn't dramatic. Sometimes it's a mother who made sure her daughter had what she needed before the battle even started. Now pause with me, right here, right now. Pray this with me, out loud if you can. Speak it slowly. Mean every word. God, rebuild my daughter from truth, not trauma. Replace confusion with clarity. Remove every voice that isn't yours. Give me wisdom, not panic. Cover her tonight. Prepare her for tomorrow. And help me trust you when I can't see the plan. Amen. My child, do you feel that? That's not anxiety. That's assignment. You're not just a parent tonight. You're a priest. You're standing in the gap. You're holding the line between her and the enemy who wants her to believe she's alone. But she's not alone, because you're here. And heaven is moving. Tomorrow doesn't change because of time. Tomorrow changes because tonight, you chose to cover instead of control. You chose to bless instead of break. And that choice, that one choice, just shifted everything. Stay with me. We're not done yet. My beloved child, we've come to the moment where heaven stops whispering and starts moving. Tomorrow isn't just another day on the calendar. Tomorrow is a door that's been locked over your daughter's life for years, maybe since she was born, and it's about to swing open. But listen to me carefully. When that door opens, you can't hesitate. You can't second guess. You can't stand there frozen, wondering if you're worthy to walk through it. Because this isn't just about her mood changing. This isn't just about her finding a job or meeting someone or finally feeling better. This is about a shift in the atmosphere over your entire household. A breaking, a rewiring, a divine reversal that doesn't just touch her, it touches everyone connected to her bloodline. And you, my child, you are the gatekeeper. You are the one who carries the authority to speak over her life right now, tonight, before the sun comes up tomorrow. The enemy knows this. That's why you felt so heavy. That's why doubt tried to creep in today. That's why you almost scrolled past this message, but you didn't. And that tells me everything I need to know about your assignment. You're not just a parent. You're a guardian of destiny. You're a curse breaker. You're the one who stands in the gap when everyone else is asleep. And heaven sees you. Jesus sees you. Archangel Michael is standing behind you right now, and he's saying, don't let them miss this. Don't let them walk into tomorrow unprepared. So here's what I need you to do. Right now, before you close this, I need you to type AMN in the comments. Not for me, for her. Type AMN if you're covering your daughter in prayer tonight. Type 777 if you believe the cycle breaks in your bloodline, right here, right now with you. And if you are staying aligned with this word, if you know this is not a one-time message but a season you're walking into, hit that subscribe button, because I'm not leaving you alone in this. Heaven is not done speaking. There are more instructions coming, more clarity, more breakthrough. But you have to stay connected. You have to stay in position. My beloved child, I want you to hear me one last time before you go. You are not random. Your daughter is not random. This moment, this exact moment, was written in heaven's book before time began. And tomorrow, when you see the shift start to happen, you're going to remember this message. You're going to remember that you didn't walk into it blind. You walked into it covered, prepared, aligned. Heaven is not late. Heaven is right on time. And tomorrow, everything changes. You're not just raising a daughter, my child. You're raising a future. Now go. Walk into tomorrow like the chosen one you are. I'm standing watch. And so is heaven.